Dear devotees, dear devotee family, we're with our family and with Jason today also. Jason, with our family also. Hare Krishna. From east to west, from south to north, and a glimpse of the Himalayas by the grace of Muktinath Prabhu. And oh my goodness, I thought that was Nityananda, but there's Keshavananda Prabhu wearing Nityananda Prabhu's colors to remind us the mercy of Nityananda, mercy of Guru, mercy of the Vaishnavas. All right, so dear devotees, we come together and probably more will come in the next few minutes. So let us begin with an auspicious invocation. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapara Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangs Cha Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvije Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So, dear devotees, perhaps we will start today by coming to Thailand, because we know it's daytime in Thailand already. They're likely to be busy at any moment, called for the seva duty. And so we can ask to Paramananda Prabhu, to Keshavananda Prabhu, Ramsundar Prabhu, Krishna Priya Devi Dasi, and whoever may be there. Yes, there's Krishna Priya. Oh, and my little daughter-in-law, Hare Krishna. So please, let us come to you in Thailand. And many of the devotees, they're going to be gathering in Thailand soon, and already begun. Keshavananda Prabhu is the first to arrive, and second to arrive, perhaps, I do not know, Paramananda Prabhu. He probably just came in through the door. So let us catch up with news from Govinda Farm in Thailand.
He's giving the news. I just arrived. I don't have any news. I haven't even surveyed the kshetra here. But he's been here for a few days.
And Keshavananda Prabhu, we're all ears. We are all ears to hear from you. I can put more ears in too to get you in stereo.
Well, I just came a couple of days ago from India after getting very sick, so I've been a bit discombobulated here, but gradually feeling better. And the news here in Thailand is the big floods. I mean, it's they say it's unprecedented, the flooding around here in living memory. Very sad. So many houses underwater and rivers bursting the banks, and fast running water on the roads and down the hills, and mudslides. Quite an intense situation. And anyway, seems to be receding now. But just to come to the farm from Chiang Mai, we had to go different roads and couldn't go this way and couldn't go that way, and so that was a little unexpected, I have to say. But anyway, here now, and Paramananda Prabhu just arrived, and this is the time of year where we're consulting lists of arrivals. That's the pilgrims.
Rapidly growing list.
Yeah, rapidly growing list of pilgrims, and all the associated thinking and planning where everybody will stay and how everything will be. So that's always, you know, a very a wonderful time when the festival is drawing near and all the arrangements need to be made for the pilgrims coming. So we're very, you know, excitedly awaiting the auspicious arrival of everyone for the festival. What are the news here?
The sun is shining, the fields are green.
Water is gone.
There is no water. The flood, I mean, there is water, but no flood water. And birds are singing.
Yes.
So the environment is ready to receive all the devotees. That
All
is
right.
the report. And then we have Krishna Priya, who is the main keeper, appointed by Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj himself to be the keeper of the facilities in Thailand that are meant for seva use, and there she is.
And what news from Krishna Priyadari? Would you like to share something? And anything that's reminding you of Gurudev or something, anyhow, what do you like to share with the devotees? Back to basics. Remind us about Krishna consciousness.
Oh.
Oh.
Always remind yourself, Maharaj, who we are and keep doing. That's all I always like. This is Krishna consciousness. Always remind yourself who you are, what to do, and like always not space out. Focus what is in front of you, and always remind and always remember it. Whatever, how's your guru, the pastime, and cheer me up every day. How I keep going, Maharaj.
Jai.
How I practice.
And it is necessary every day to remind ourselves, because the world, the material world, with or without all of the modern day distractions and so many things, with or without that, the material world is always pulling us to engage in the material world service. So we must remember that we are engaging our activities in the Lord's service and engaging the material energy. And the material energy is also Krishna's energy. So Srila Guru Maharaj, he was a little bit challenged. Perhaps it was Guru Maharaj who was challenged by somebody or not. Anyway, Guru Maharaj told the story about how somebody was challenging, oh, you Gaudiya Math people, you're doing the same as everybody else. I see you're all eating, you're doing this, you're doing that.
That's Sanyal's brother.
That was Professor Sanyal and his brother challenging Professor Sanyal, right?
Yes.
And then Professor Sanyal, he replied to his brother that you see in that way, they appear to be eating, but they are not eating. They appear to be engaging in so many things of the world, the same as the materialistic people, the regular people, but they are not doing so. They are engaging in seva. So we must remember that point also, that we are engaging in seva, so it may look like the same as the material activities of the regular people, and engaging the motor car and the telephone and this, that, and the other. But it is not the same. It is a different category entirely.
Actually, along these lines, Maharaj, I was reading Brihad Bhagavatamritam yesterday on the flight. There's a very nice point that Sanatana Goswami makes. When Gopakumar just enters Galoka, after all his travels, he's been to Mathura, Dwaraka, Vaikunthas, then he's back to Gokul, and then he entered Galoka, and then everything seems to be just like there in the material world. And Sanatana Goswami explains that they're non-different. So Galoka is fully present in Gokul. So in that way, they seem externally to be quite the same, but it takes takes a certain amount of, what do you call it, devotion, or not even a secret, is beyond that already, to understand that this world is purely spiritual. And not only that, this is the world, but all the other worlds are fully contained in one speck of it. So he's talking about that vision, the divine vision that one have to develop. And he points out, for that, one must acquire dhanya, the humility, which is translated as humility, but it's so much more than that. It's difficult to put it in our world words. Sanskrit, of course, is better, but we're not very familiar with that. But that special type of humility is necessary to see and to enter that world. So how everything is seen as divine. And that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur points in his Sharanagati songs when he speaks of his family. That's when he said that when I see my family is engaged in worshiping the deity and offering prasadam, I'm thinking I'm already in Goloka. It is Goloka, it's not different. But that kind of divine vision. And we have the I'm calling him Mahaservitor, but he's calling himself the humble servant, of course, but I have the right to say so. Mr. Ramsundar Prabhu?
Sir, sometimes we get the translations in of the text as, Sir, how can we engage like this, addressing to Mahaprabhu? So we can also say in the same line of Prabhu, we can say, yes, Sir, Ramsundar Prabhu. Not in the sense of the British royalty, sir, but in the sense of respectful address. Ramsundar Prabhu, yes.
Well, I guess we're
Good
talking
morning.
about... Good morning, Maharaj. Love to see you. Well, I'm in the news.
Indeed.
Just not slowly, preparing for the festival. I'm just trying to get everything nice and tidy and everything clean and shiny for all the devotees that are about to arrive. And I like what Paramananda Prabhu said about the environment is ready for the devotees, because I've also been, observing the environment, and it seems that like everything's a bit more cheerful and bright, and like things are in motion. And even the tulsis too are like sprouting out, like shooting up like extremely fast, more than like normal. So
I'm happy to hear that news. Yesterday afternoon, I was thinking about the tulsis at Govinda Farm. And it's not every day I think about the tulsis. And then today you are telling me that, oh, they're growing very nicely. I was thinking how they are doing and how is tulsi.
Old tulsi that attended, not attended, but was presiding over the festival, still in a good health, thriving. And anything else? Any inspirations recently from Guru Maharaj?
Oh, okay. There's a, let me think one. There's verse, I can't remember the number right now, but a verse from Prema Dhamma about on theme with the environment, that Mahaprabhu is wandering through the Vrindavan forest, and then there's many bumblebees, and it's described that they're all engaged in pure topics of very high devotion. And then while he's walking, all the trees are bowing in unison to Mahaprabhu. And, he's being overwhelmed with divine emotion, divine devotion. And that he's also remembering how like the cows and oxen used to call him in previous pastimes, is what it says. So,
and the verses?
Let me think real quick. I'm blanking right now.
It's around verse 42 or 41 or 30.
It's around 37-ish.
Oh, 37. Okay, it's in that area.
I'm just trying to match the verse with the translation. So
I
give me
think Sevarupa will solve
Yeah.
the question within a moment.
Ram just need the first word of the verse.
Yeah.
That usually helps a lot.
By the way, Prema Dhammadeva Stotram, dear devotees, it really is a super joy to sing. And
Remember?
the more we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, then the more those verses of the Prema Dhammadeva Stotram, they open up a whole window, just as we're singing the kirtan, then it opens up at the whole pastimes of this pastime and that pastime. And there are several verses, out of 70, there are several verses which relate to Mahaprabhu in Vrindavan, going to Vrindavan, being in Vrindavan, and then coming back from Vrindavan, and then, of course, being in Prayag, being in Kashi. And before going to Vrindavan, his journey there, which means his return to Navadip after more than 5 years, that pastime, those pastimes of going to Vrindavan and everything involved there, there are several verses out of 70 which shows like a big relevance of that part of the Leela. But the whole of the Prema Dhammadeva Stotram, everybody at home can also read 10 verses every day, or sing and read, or read 10 verses every day. And it doesn't have to be like the tradition in the mat. The tradition in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mat is there are 70 verses. So 10 verses times 7 equals 70. And they begin with verse 1 on the Saturday. But it doesn't mean that we have to, it's Monday, so we must sing, verse 21. Oh, 10, yes, 21. It's Tuesday, we must sing the verse, or Saturday, we can start at the beginning and then go all the way through. And then when we get to the end, start at the beginning again. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, the more we can remember and hear, this is our great fortune. We know Krishna Leela, everyone knows Krishna Leela. Mahaprabhu Leela, we want to give like extra attention. And it's another leap, I know, when we first joined to understand about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But through the devotees, we come to Krishna. And Mahaprabhu, the super devotee, means Radharani and Krishna combined. Then it's through Mahaprabhu's grace that we come to Krishna consciousness, we come to Krishna. But it's all intertwined. It is not one thing or another. And the Prema Dhammadeva Stotram is our special condensed Chaitanya Charitamrita. And you can consider that you cannot put everything, like every Leela, every chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita into 70 verses. So Guru Maharaj has selected the most important places for us to keep our attention and focus. So Ramchandra Prabhu, thank you for that reminder about Prema Dhamma and the beautiful composition. And Gurudev glorified that so much. Verse 39, who got there first? Sevarupa Devirasi. She gave us verse 39.
Well, I have to say, Ramsunda remembered it.
Maybe Sevarupa did too. No, she's shaking her head. So Ramsundara, please give us the Sanskrit too.
Okay. Prema Gunjanali Punja Pushpa Punja Ranjitam Gita Nitya Daksha Pakshi Riksha Laksha Vanditam Govrashadi Nada Deepta Purva Moda Meduram Premadama Devameva Nami Govar Sundaram.
Beautiful. And we sang that the day before yesterday. Yesterday we sang the next 10 verses. That's how I knew it was somewhere in that region. The end of the day before or the beginning of yesterday. Hare Krishna. And we sang happily with the devotees. And the description that you're giving, you're remembering about the Brihat Bhagavatamritam and the final destination, as it were, which is not a final and then stopped. It is a very living destination of Goloka Vrindavan. And that word aprakrita is used so much by Guru Maharaj, and it is not commonly known. We have a lady devotee here who's been staying here now for some time, but she, like many of us, are coming from another mission originally, and we are watching, as we do, we were watching Srila Guru Maharaj and the video, and Guru Maharaj again and again using this word aprakrita and quoting about Vrindavan Leela. And it was new to her, this word aprakrita, and we stop, we play part of the video and stop, so that we want devotees to say when they can't understand. We ask, please say. And she's saying, what is this aprakrita word? And I also wasn't so aware of how much Srila Guru Maharaj uses the word aprakrita, which means that it looks like this world, but it is completely the opposite. And sometimes the example is given that if there's a reflection of a mountain in a lake, then the highest part in the reflection is the lowest part as it's reflected. So it looks like this world, and it may look like the lower part of this world, but it is the highest part in the top world. And so when Paramananda was describing about Goloka Vrindavan and Gopakumar reaching there, and then he's looking and seeing, and everything is revealed to him, he understands, but it looks so much like the Vrindavan that he's seen in this world, but it is that upper world. So the lady here, the devotee, she was very happy to hear about this aprakrita and its understanding. And I wasn't familiar with this for some time until we had a devotee in Malaysia who Srila Guru Maharaj gave the name Aprakrita Prabhu or Aprakrita Das. And then after he was given that name, everywhere I'm reading and hearing, I'm hearing this word aprakrita, and it kind of jumped out at me. Oh, aprakrita. So this is also good for us to know, not to fight with the environment here. We want to go smoothly with the environment here, because in the upper world, there are all sorts of personality things taking place also, but we are not to make any complaint with that environment. We have to go with the flow, and we keep our nose out of other people's business, as it were. If there's some disturbance among any of the gopas or amongst the gopis or between anybody and anybody, then we are not to get involved. We are to harmonize. Okay, everything is for service. They're having an argument for service. It must be so. And the service can also be the Leela of Krishna. He wants some animation, some liveliness. So he's arranging all sorts of things through Yoga Maya. We have Maya, we have Maha Maya here in this world. And in fact, in Calcutta, in Dum Dum Park, right where our temple is in Dum Dum Park, right opposite to our temple, as you're going on the left side, there is a maybe 3-story building, 4-story building perhaps, with the name in big letters, Maha Maya. So there's Maha Maya on one side of the road, and there is Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Madana Mohan on the other side of the road. Just see. Looking the same, but quite different. Hare Krishna. There, Keshavan will be comfortable.
Yeah, India taking a toll on him, Maharaj.
Yes, I heard, poor Keshavan. We are very unhappy, very sad to hear when devotees get sick. And Braja Sundari was with you, and I'm not sure who else, but she was saying, oh, everyone got sick this visit to Vrindavan. But get well soon, each of you. And maybe Braja Sundari, I did see her enter a little time ago. I don't see her now here. Hare Krishna. And Sri Lekha is here with us, and she's going to be on the plane very soon. And we had Jayashree Devidasi here in our kirtan in the garden. And we had some long time associated, hoping to be devotees or something, here, Italians, here yesterday. And so we had kirtan, and we tried to address to those persons who, after so many years, maybe 40 years associating with devotees, but still has not become focused to Krishna consciousness. Man and his wife, long time, not young people. But one good thing was, he said, I feel that now is the time to go back home. And so this gave us an opportunity to introduce the idea of home comfort, and to introduce, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Guru Maharaj's aprakrita conceptions of the home, which is the right of our heart at this time, by the grace of Mahaprabhu. So Jayashree was here for the kirtan. We had a happy kirtan in the garden. And the devotees, today is Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, the devotees here, they use all energy and every moment for the kiosk and for the meeting the public, talking with the public, doing good PR. And again, aprakrita in the sense, of course, not Goloka Vrindavan in that way, but they are doing so many things that you can say another restaurant or whatever they may be doing, but with quite a different motive and everything opposite of the mundane motivation and reasoning and thinking when they are cooking and serving and thinking about making money and all these things. So another example, seva, seva, seva. We want to connect into the seva section. And if the rest of you wondering why I'm mentioning Jayashree, she's the daughter of Sri Lekha Devidasi. And I don't need to remind her that, of course, but for those of you who don't know, Sri Lekha Devidasi, that's a good introduction for you, mother of Jayashree. So will we make you famous by being the mother of Jayashree, or will we make Jayashree famous by being the daughter of Sri Lekha? A few words kindly. Srila Prabhupada's disciple from Srila Prabhupada's time, Srila Guru Maharaj's time, Srila Gurudev's time. We like to invite you to share something. But please turn on your microphone, otherwise we'll have to practice our lip reading or do sign language. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the sign language. In India, I'm told when I'm doing this with some deaf people here, then they told me, the way they can tell me, that they have different sign language. There are different languages used around the world, so it's not universal. Sri Lekha, please find the button for the microphone and back to basics. And Sri Lekha is so good with keeping devotees in the mood of devotional service. She's very good with the children, and we are all children of devotion. The microphone button is there on the screen somewhere. Oh, that's the one that turns it sideways. That's the one that turns it sideways the other way. Okay. Hare Krishna. Oh, that's the one that turns the camera off. All right. I know this technology.
If Ilamoy Prabhu could ask Shilekha to unmute, she will see a notification on her screen.
Ah, did you hear that, Leelamoy Prabhu? You're the host. Ask her to unmute kindly.
I
I
did
can
2
do-
times.
I can ask her to unmute too somehow. Okay. When you worked it out, make a sound and then we'll hear you, Shilekha. Otherwise, we're in separation from your wise devotional words for the time being only.
It
Hare.
helps to restart the Zoom sometime.
I think it's just a hidden button that needs to. Or you maybe restart if you're not seeing those messages, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. And now, in the meantime, we'll hear from her in a minute, if we have that good fortune. And in the meantime, we can also continue with our, with our discussion and talk. And about India, I was going to ask. Okay, she's come back. Okay, I'm just looking in the chat box, or I'm trying to look in the chat box. Ah, so Seva Rupa Devidasi, she put that verse 39 of Prema Dharma in there. And then Mayeshwari's put a note. On my computer, if I take the cursor over my image, an unmute button appears. So there's a tip for Srilekha if she's with us.
I think I unmuted now. Am I?
Ah, you are. We can hear you. Yes, so Srilekha Devidasi. Now you've had plenty of time to arrange your thoughts, how everything we do, we have to rely on Krishna's mercy. As you just found out.
Well, Krishna is the all-harmonizing principle. Am I speaking loud enough, Maharaj?
All good from my side, and you sound the same loudness as everyone else, yes.
Dandavat to everyone. So nice to see you, Maharaj, and all the devotees, and especially the Chiang Mai group sitting there. Oh, Dandavat to everybody. Nice to see you, Kesh. I hope you're feeling better. Parmananda Prabhu, Krishna Priya, Ram Sundar. Oh, anyhow. Yeah, whatever. I mean, Maharaj, I'll try. The thing is, we are trying to do something very difficult. And that is we're practically changing, as though a river is going one way, and now we're making it go the other way. So this is not an easy thing to do. To give up, Srila Guru Maharaj said, our terrible tendency to order reality to come within my prejudiced view, to make what happens according to what I have decided must happen. He said this is a very wicked, actually, mentality. So that doesn't seem wicked to us. This is, well, of course, everything should go exactly the way I think it should go. And nothing should ever be disturbing to me. But actually, the will of Krishna is what makes everyone happy. He is happiness personified. He is happiness. And devotion to him is the connection with the Lord. So we have a practice which is very, very rare. And Srila Prabhupada, Maharaj, you mentioned Srila Prabhupada, he wanted us to go to Guru Maharaj to learn these fine points of sadhana. That behind everything that happens is Krishna. It's not that if I think it, then it's Krishna. It is. It always has been. Guru Maharaj said, if some hay is moving around, that is because the Lord wants it to. So everything that comes, we have to open our heart and broaden our heart to connect with the source of existence and the wave of reality. That's going to take some doing because we have some habitual resistance to that. And our mind, which is not even who we are, has picked up. Guru Maharaj said, as we are going from life to life, we are picking up so much moss. You know, moss, like that slimy green stuff that grows in the water that's not moving. And when water's not moving, then this green stuff, it's called moss. And this, picking up all this moss, lifetime after lifetime. And now we find ourselves in such a mossy tank. But Guru Maharaj said that the direct method of coming out of every wrong thing, and it is the central principle of everything that is right, is overturning my idea of what should be and instead accepting what is. In a mood of surrender and waiting, you know, in a prayerful mood, in a happy mood, seeing the sweetness behind the film. And that reciprocation will come and give us wisdom. Wisdom must come from truth, and Krishna is truth. And he's the autocrat. He is the mover of everything, and everything is overwhelmingly joyful. If we can simply come through that film over reality, like Kumkum Didi was reading last week, our vision is covered with a film, like cream over milk. It's just a thin layer that we are interacting with instead of seeing what is behind there, which is all sweetness and all joyful. And we really need to help each other a lot with this practice. It is the basis of all sadhana, is surrender. So, I mean, I always talk about this, and somebody asked me, why do you talk about this so much? And I was thinking, it's just like, I was thinking of American football, but it's that with all sports that are very extreme, you know. The coach is giving the same pep talk every single game. But because they're doing something really hard, they never get tired of it. So we don't get tired of hearing Guru Maharaj saying these things in so many different ways. And of course, he's saying so many things. We're reading so many books. We know that we have so many different levels of sadhana. But in the center of all things is Krishna. And we have to come to actually become conscious of that. It is the solution to every problem. It is a source of all super joyfulness. And we just have to excavate, go deep within every situation to see his will flowing and find that sweetness inside. So anyway, I'm not going to keep going on, but anyway.
And we say the same mantra every day. We go to the same arati. We honor prasadam. We have breakfast every day. So that does remind us of what most of you have heard too, that Srila Guru Maharaj saying that, yes, to repeat, when we are repeating something and we are feeling nourishment by that, then means in our sadhana, then as far as we are feeling nourishment and as far as we are finding freshness, ever fresh, then to that degree we are connected to the higher plane. And if we are finding, oh, it's just repetition, then we must question ourselves, are we connecting with that plane or not?
Mhm.
And this came from a question from our dear devotee friend to Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj saying that, yes, you're doing the same things and the same things each year, but as far as it is connected with the upper world, you will understand it to be fresh. It is not just repeating the same thing, like going to a factory to work. Go to a factory and then you're repeating the same activity every day, perhaps for 40 years.
Yeah. Basically, we do this lifetime after lifetime. We just do the same stuff over and over again.
So good to remind ourselves to see the environment properly, and also not only Krishna is behind it, but Mahaprabhu is Vishvambara. He is behind everything, especially in this modern age. And Sachi Mata, she had the dream of Vishvambara, Nimai Pandit, pulling Krishna, challenging Krishna, who's sitting on the throne, sitting on the altar, and he's challenging Krishna, come down, and Nityananda is challenging Balaram, come down, it's not your time to be sitting on the throne, it's our time. The Sachimata was a bit stunned by all this, but this also is a reminder for us that we must try to keep our attention in Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, in this channel, and then as Guru Maharaj says, a deposit to Navadip, a deposit to the Leela of Mahaprabhu and Krishna, Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, is like we are giving our energy in one place, but we will find that it is being withdrawn from another place. It is taking us to Vrindavan. And he said, like in a bank, you can deposit money in the bank in one town and withdraw from the bank in another town. So when our deposit is going in Navadip, then that is going into the credit of the Vrindavan account. So let us remember Sachi Devi, Mahaprabhu's mother. Let us remember her dream and her understanding. Yes, it's the time of Mahaprabhu, Nitai and Gauranga, and they are behind everything. And this is what we think about this technology, by the way. And for years we've been saying, Mahaprabhu allowed this technology, let us use it in his service. It's amazing that all this technology has come about. Only sadhus could possibly hear something that's taken place before, or hear word for word, and see also something that's taken place previously. Only the very pure-hearted, and I don't think many of us are so pure-hearted, we can draw from the ether, word for word, the recording, like to hear what has been said. But we have this technology. And this has been allowed by Mahaprabhu, and it is amazing. So we feel Vishvambar Mahaprabhu, his hand in particular is behind the world at present. He is sitting on the altar. And so are Radha and Krishna, by the grace of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they've given us the perfect altar to worship. Mahaprabhu, Radha, Krishna. Of course, they've given us the perfect everything, but we can reflect on why Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur established this as the norm, that there will be Mahaprabhu, Radha, Krishna. to emphasize Mahaprabhu. Radha Krishna combined, coming as themselves in original form at this time to give what has never been given before. In all the trillions of years of Lord Brahma's life, not just this day. So also we repeat this time to time, but we repeat it with good reason, to wake ourselves up every day. And for some of us, we just woke up this morning, so we need to remind ourselves, don't we? For some of you, you're about to go to bed. But before you go to bed, it is good to remember Radha Krishna and Mahaprabhu, or Mahaprabhu Radha Krishna. And when you wake up, it's good to remember Mahaprabhu Radha and Krishna. And during the day, it's good to remember Mahaprabhu Radha and Krishna. So we can't be like Hiranyakashipu and try to find some loophole where, oh, I don't always have to remember Krishna. I don't always have to remember Mahaprabhu. Hiranyakashipu is trying to find a loophole where he won't die, neither in the day nor at night, on the earth or in the sky, etc. Trying to cover all the bases. And everyone likes to look for a loophole that I don't actually have to chant Hare Krishna all the time. I don't actually have to remember Krishna all the time. I do get my own time. There's a loophole. It says, oh, you can have your own time. No. In pure Krishna consciousness, the devotee doesn't want to not remember Krishna. Well, okay, the very pure devotees, when they're thinking of Krishna and in so much pain of separation, perhaps, then they want to forget him. But that's another department of remembering and forgetting, another category. Hare Krishna. And Keshavananda Prabhu is thinking how Mahaprabhu's hand is behind his recent suffering in India to get so sick. And how can it be prevented in the future? Could you pinpoint how it happened so that devotees who visit in the future, they can avoid?
No, no, Maharaj, cannot.
No.
This came, and but we're always singing when we go in Brajadam. We're always happy to sing Jadi Gaurana Hoto Tobikyo Ito Kemona Doritamde Radhara Mahima Prema Rasasana Jagata Janata Ke. Everything coming from Mahaprabhu, the most beautiful and safe environment for the aspirants, for the devotees and aspiring devotees to hear the wonderful pastimes of Mahaprabhu and his devotees and his beloved mother and father and friends and all the residents of Navadip, and how we're very safely drawn into to hear the beautiful divine pastimes of Mahaprabhu, and that full safety is there, because to try to what Guru Maharaj put above the gate of the Matala Harijana Kirtanarange Pujala Ragapata Gaura Vavange, right across the entrance to the Nat Mandir, that this Krishna Leela is very, very difficult to actually appreciate properly, because it is so pure and innocent, but I am so impure and sinful. So how I will understand that? So Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada have given us some descriptions of Krishna Leela, of course, and some their divine vision of Krishna Leela, but we have been invited by them into the family of Mahaprabhu, and we're feeling very protected there and safe there, and no dearth of anything there. Everything is fully, you know, what is it that every atom of Navadip is carrying Vrindavan in full. So we're feeling very, very nourished and happy to hear the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and the Chaitanya Bhagavat and all the chamatkar, inconceivably wonderful pastimes of Mahaprabhu and his associates. We're singing the Kirtan of Mahaprabhu and going on happily. But as to what to avoid, no, it just came from nowhere. We have been in Manasi Ganga, so beautiful. The evening light on the temples of Manasi Ganga, bowing to Haridev Mandir and the temple and Chakratirtha, the place of Sanatana Goswami, and we were hearing from Brihad Bhagavatamritam, Sanatana Goswami's beautiful book, and then took prasadam, and Padmanabh Maharaj had been to Varshana, so he'd come back with kachori prasadam and various tasty things from somewhere in Varshana, I don't know exactly where. So very happily there, and Gurudev at the lotus feet of Sri Giriraj and Srila Gurudev, and then went to bed happily, and then started feeling very, very poorly. So we could, we understand that there's this is my medicine. This is my medicine, and that we have to go through. But anyway, Jadi Goldana without Mahaprabhu, all these places, all this understanding, all this realization, and the ability to actually understand anything of that upper world, is all coming through the grace of Mahaprabhu. And Srila Gurudev saying, his name is Bhakti Rakak, or Bhakti Rakshak, actually in Sanskrit. But Guru Maharaj is saying, but I am Bengali. I am liking Rakak. It is the Bengali way. And he says, we are liking, we are preferring Mahaprabhu Leela to Krishna Leela. He just says it, he is a servitor of Mahaprabhu and his divine, and the Navadip family of the Lord. So, and I know when I was talking with people, when I'm talking with people who are new to Krishna consciousness, then when we talk about Mahaprabhu, it's very safe. And even if you go on Google, and if somebody goes on Google and looks up, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, something like that, still, even in that uncertain realm, pretty safe, actually. But if you go on Google and you type, you search Krishna, then you're going to immediately enter very dangerous and misconceived and not to be recommended at any point, actually, only to approach through the Sri Guru. But Mahaprabhu much safer safe and wonderful, and our fortune is that that was the place that, you know, our Gurudev is within that family and inviting us into that safe and beautiful road to surrender under the beautiful lotus feet of Sriman Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Panchatattva, and all the residents of Navadip and Bengal. So anyway.
Maharaj, I have a short question to Keshwananda Prabhu. He can just answer yes or no. That will be sufficient. Can we, without physically going to the geographical location that is visible to us of the holy places, be there in other circumstance somewhere else? Without going to...
Oh, absolutely, of course. You can go to Villa Govinda and be fully in well, both places, in Navadip and Vrindavan. You can come to Govinda Farm, and we're always remembering Navadip here when we can hear the kokil and the rice fields, and everything is in the devotees, always, every time, again. The devotees. Tamara Hridoya Sada Govinda Vishram, Govinda Kahena Mama Vaishnava Paran. That's where Vrindavan lives, that's where Navadip lives, that's where everything wonderful lives, in the heart of the Vaishnava, in the heart of the sadhu. What's that? Where do I live? Krishna says, I'm not in the hearts of the yogis or this, that, and the other, but I'm where my glories are chanted by my devotees. So this is absolutely true, absolutely true. That Guru Maharaj says, what is Vrindavan? It is a plane of consciousness. So when we're with Srila Madhusudana Maharaj and we're with the devotees of so many wonderful places like Villa Govinda, Govinda Farm and other places, then when we're feeling no deficiency, like, oh, I want to go to Navadip, I want to go to Vrindavan, we feel fully present with Gurudev, and if Gurudev is there, then Navadip must be there, and Vrindavan must be there. So this is wonderful, actually. This is very wonderful. Or maybe it's not very wonderful. This is not very wonderful. This is just, this is the truth. And we do, you know, we go sometimes to these places on parikrama, some service, also very good, but really, sometimes I'm feeling that I'm more in Navadip or more in Vrindavan when I'm with Maharaj and all the devotees, wherever it may be, not so important. By Sadhu Sangha, everything wonderful coming through that.
And this brings up just 2 points when Keshwananda was talking. One of them was about Google. And I have to say that our dear man who maybe for 40 years has been following some practice and has been going to Govinda's restaurant. I've been going to the temple for over 40 years. But talking with him, we're trying so much to get across the necessity of coming to one place where you can know what you're hearing is the fact or are the facts. And so we tried to give like a strong introduction to Guru Maharaj and a strong introduction to Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada. But we tried to give this strong introduction because basically, whether it's entirely Google or the bookshop, but his questions, even though he's been around devotees for so many years and very happy to say so, but his questions were very indicative of how he's been like reading all sorts of things from different places and about, and a very like materialistic analysis of things which we really don't want to hear, and so I won't share them with you. But coming from basically atheistic commentators on the Vedas, and who are those people who are writing the books, etc. Probably in most cases, you won't want to have a conversation with them with those persons for more than a few minutes until you realize where they're at, and they're not going to change their opinion, and they're talking, whatever it may be, but atheism. Then what to speak of read books by them? So anyway, Google is a dangerous place. The internet is a dangerous place. It's like everything. It's like all energy. We have to be focused on where we are reading. We have to be focused on where we're getting our information. And we are even warned by Mahaprabhu. If we go reading here, there, and everywhere, if we read Shankaracharya's commentary, then we will be lost. So our consciousness needs to be protected. It needs to be nourished, but it needs to be protected. So now if we go to Google to find something, we must be cautious, and very cautious. Where is it coming from? What connection have they got? And as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur pointed out, as Guru Maharaj pointed out, as Gurudev pointed out, in the name of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, so many things are going on. So we must also be very careful, our origin, our source of hearing about Mahaprabhu and the Lord. So that was one thing. And the other thing was what you just touched on at the end, that actually the pilgrimage, coming to Govinda farm and coming to anywhere where the devotees are, this is the joy of the devotees, and this is the purpose of pilgrimage, is not to see everything, not to take the photos and add it to our album at home. It is the association of the devotees. So the association, especially of like-minded devotees who've got their faith in the same place, who can freely chant the glories of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, who freely are able to know that we're with friends on the journey to the same place, and with that association we can joyfully continue. And this is the purpose of pilgrimage. This is the purpose of also the festivals, etc., that we can reinforce each other on the journey homeward, holding on to the rope of our masters, staying safely within the guidelines they've given us, and not wandering into the jungle of religion to get in the danger of being eaten by crocodiles. And by the way, the very beginning, when you said there are lots of floods, I remember the last time Bangkok flooded dramatically, there were crocodiles walking down the street. So I'm just wondering whether you've seen any crocodiles recently walking down the street.
Maharaj, this time they preventively massacred them.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately.
Oh, no. Oh, well. Lots of cheap meat in the market, I suppose.
Yeah. Or bags.
And unbelievably, in Italy, they said it's more expensive to be vegetarian than to be a meat eater. Eating meat is cheaper. How can that be?
Yes.
That's
Maharaj,
amazing.
not just in Italy.
Anyway, we want to go to the Chamatkara world in the upper world, and not all the opposite of Chamatkara, like amazingly terrible things of this world. Chamatkara is always associated with wonderful, pure things. So we are the family together with our head to the Chamatkara world of Radha Krishna Leela in Vrindavan, and the Chamatkara world of Nitai and Gauranga, and their most generous gift, and not only the gift, their gift of what is devotional service, our very life and soul, not only a gift for us, but actually plugging us into the electricity or something like that, into the current. You can be given a computer, you can be given a light bulb or anything, but you have to plug it into the current, and that current has come here, both the apparatus and the current has come, the devotional life and the very connection of that devotional life to the upper world from the Lord himself, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. All right, dear devotees. Oh, Leela Mahaprabhu has been very quiet. Leela Mahaprabhu, he's sharing in all the programs here and he can say a few words. Maybe on our next Zoom, we'll keep a spot for Leela Mahaprabhu to share some words from here. And he'll be coming to Thailand also. And we heard on a one-way ticket, but this makes all the residents of Vila Govinda very unhappy. They would prefer he's got a return ticket.
Those residents have to learn how to share, Maharaj.
They may say that about the residents of Chiang Mai, and there was some discussion just yesterday about Ramasundra Prabhu coming in this mood of sharing. The Ramasundra Prabhu, well, to be able to come to Vila Govinda for a while.
It's just a trick, Maharaj. We're not buying it.
It's in the ether. All right, so dear devotees, we will be here in Italy, and Divya Shakti, that he seems to think I am in Chiang Mai, but actually I'm here in Vila Govinda still. But Divya Shakti, we look forward to meeting you in Chiang Mai also, and very happily knowing that you've got your ticket. Yeah. And anyway, we'll keep everybody informed when we are there in Thailand. You will also be with us. We're not leaving anybody behind. But the next Zoom, we will still be here, or I'll still be here, myself and Leela Mahaprabhu. Our team from Vila Govinda will still be in Vila Govinda. But the one after that will be together in Thailand, and we'll be happily sharing that throughout. All right, so dear devotees who are in the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, the early in the morning, Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, Western world, Eastern world, Central world, India, if we consider India the center, which we do, Bharatvarsha, then to all of you all over planet Earth and beyond. I don't know where the signal goes. Then, with my respect to all of the Vaishnavas, and of course, big Jais, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha, Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Srila Guru Dev Om Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada Om Vishnupad, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, and Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai, Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai, Jai Shri Shri Nitai Chaitanya Dev ki Jai, Shri Navadeep Dham ki Jai, Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Math of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Guru Dev ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai, all the present day Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, all the assembled Vaishnavas ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha.
Jai Shri Bhakti Maharaj ki Jai.
Wishing you all a successful seva few days until we meet again soon. And Chintamani came back to India, perhaps. We'll hear from, I expect we'll hear from Chintamani next time too. She's just arrived in India, I believe. Yes, okay, perfect. So, Leela Moy Prabhu, Chintamani Devidasi, come with some stock in your pockets. I know you already have something to share. Back to basics. Let us keep on going happily, day by day. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari. Dandavad.